Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to replace the rear main seal on a Mark V generation or newer Volkswagen or Audi engine. The Mark V generation cars started in 2004 in Europe and 2005.5 in North America. Their rear main seal kind of looked like a normal rear main seal, and speaking from the experience of people posting on my Volkswagen and Audi TDI diesel forum, a lot of people have changed this rear main seal and it's resulted in no engine start afterwards, and they say, hey, what happened? This ring is actually the sending ring for the engine speed sensor. Now, starting with the Mark VI generation cars around 2010 and newer, they started making the sending unit look like this gear and has these two little teeth inside. In any case, when you see this, you should just stop and think, hey, this looks different. I better check online. Go to myturbodiesel.com and read the video description below for the full do-it-yourself article on this. And if you like this video, feel free to click the like button below or use the PayPal donation button on my website. So when you replace the rear main seal, you have to use Volkswagen tool T10134, which is both an alignment tool, which has these pins, and a seal press for the rear main seal. If you don't get the alignment of this sending wheel right, the engine's not going to run right. And if it's even more than a tiny bit off, the engine won't even start. The first thing to do is to set the engine to top dead center and insert the crankshaft lock tool appropriate for your engine. It's either T150 or T10-100. Make sure that it slides forward and meshes with the crankshaft sprocket teeth. It's important throughout this procedure that the engine remains at top dead center. And when it's set to top dead center, this hole will be more or less equidistant from these two bolt holes and is aligned with this little dot right there. Mark V generation rear main seals also have a little dot, little hole up here, which is perfectly aligned here. Remember that the crankshaft rotates twice every engine cycle, so make sure you're actually at top dead center and not 180 degrees out. Now, if you only want to remove the engine speed sensor, it can be done without removing the transmission. You just have to remove the oil filter bracket and this bolt here. But if you want to remove the rear main seal, then you do have to remove the transmission. Now I'm going to do this factory way and remove the oil pan to ensure that there's absolutely no chance of leaks. However, if you just want to remove the rear main seal and add a little bit of gasket maker in the corners, then this usually doesn't result in any leaks. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do it the factory way and remove the oil pan. Okay, I've removed the oil pan by removing all its bolts, taking a piece of wood, using that with a hammer to knock it off. And now, you just have to remove these 6 rear main seal bolts. To remove the rear main seal, you have to use 3 M6 bolts through these threaded holes to press the seal off. They should be at least 35 millimeters long. There's already screw holes here, so all you have to do is screw these in and tighten them a half turn at a time. Slowly press the rear main seal off. Okay, the rear main seal came off, and as you can see, the sending wheel is actually a separate piece. Here you can see the oil, the Teflon oil seal that goes there. Put T0134 in a clamp. Now you'll note that with this nut loose, this has quite a bit of movement here. What you want to do is have this set so that it's level. Your new rear main seal will have an installation sleeve and an orange clip up here to make sure that that hole is up against the index mark up here. Press it down on a flat surface. This seal, installation sleeve, is up against the seal. Then install it like this. Now, when you install this, this dot has to go on that little knob. So make sure that it's installed just like that. Then tighten these screws to hold the rear main seal in place against the tool. With everything in place, unscrew the big nut all the way out. The idea is you want to secure this tool against the crankshaft. So I'm just going to gently rest it there. And use 2 M7 bolts not M6 like we used earlier, M7 bolts to act like a guide for the tool. And they go in here. Now just for reference's sake, I'm going to unscrew this tool all the way so that you can see what's on the inside. On the inside, it has this thing here, which will bolt to the crankshaft and keep it aligned with the crankshaft. You want to secure the tool to the crankshaft using these 8mm Allen bolts. Now you want to have a little bit of play on this tool in order to insert these pins. The black pin is for diesel engines and the red pin is for gasoline engines. So insert this black pin and then tighten down these Allen bolts. You don't want them super tight, just enough so that the tool is not going to move around. Once the tool is secured, you want to slowly tighten this nut here. Slowly tighten it, and as you tighten it, you're going to press the seal onto the crankshaft. Once it's almost there, take out a torque wrench and tighten it to 35 Newton meters. Once it's torqued down, you can remove the tool and check for clearance. The installation sleeve is now pressed in here, and you can just pop it out later. Take some calipers and measure the distance from the sealing ring to the crankshaft. It has to be at least 0.5 millimeter. Right there we're 0.4. Now I'm getting 0.4 millimeters clearance instead of 0.5. So I'm going to put the installation tool back on, tighten it another 5 Newton meters. Okay, the installation tool is back on and tightened. I'm going to tighten this another 5 Newton meters. Let's remove the tool and check clearances. Okay, measuring at multiple spots around the ring, clearances are actually now at 0.6. So it appears if you need to tighten it just about 0.1, I would suggest just tightening it another 2.5 Newton meters at a time. So tighten it 2.5 Newton meters or 5 Newton meters at a time, depending how far off you need to press in the sending ring. Once the clearances are correct, you can remove the guide pin bolts and reinstall your rear main seal bolts, tightening in a diagonal fashion to keep the seal even. The rest of the installation is the reverse of removal. Make sure to read the linked article in the video description below for the full instructions, and check out myturbodiesel.com for your diesel car forum. Thanks again for watching, and good luck.